Hello everybody, this is Iced Blood. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII. So it's the 10th episode of this series, and in recognition of that, felt like a nice even number to do something a little special. I decided to switch the voice tracks because this is the PC version of the game and we can do that sort of thing. So all the voice acting and dialogue in this episode will be in the original Japanese. Primarily the reason I did this is because, well, I'm a fan of just Japan and Japanese culture in general. Big fan of anime, big fan of, well, obviously a big fan of Japanese RPGs. And I've come to realize something, or at least I theorize something, about English dubbing of Japanese works. And that is, I'm like a great number of people, I'm not the biggest fan of dubbing in general. A lot of the ones that I've come across have been iffy at best, and I think I have a reason for that. It has nothing to do with the quality of the acting in general, or even the writing. It's just the fact that the nature of the beast is kind of overly dramatic. Since I am a native English speaker, I can tell when the actors are being over the top and weird. However, being as how I'm not fluent in Japanese, I don't know when Japanese actors and actresses are being over the top and weird. So that's my theory. But anyway, I just thought I'd do this to spice things up a little, change things up, you know, just kind of commemorate the fact that we've made it into double digits by doing something a little different. I'm not going to do this every episode from now on, probably maybe every 10. Every 10 episodes or so I'll probably do this. That sounds interesting to me. So yeah, you can tell it's definitely a little different, and all the subtitles and everything are still the same, but at least as far as I've been able to tell. But even so, I think it does add a certain little nuance to the whole thing. This is how it was originally done, folks. I love this music. That's great. Oh, I like this. Looks like the lip flaps have changed based on the voice track too. Nice touch. Either that or the English translators had a hell of a job, because that looked pretty damn close. I don't know. Maybe I'll replay this section in English and test my theory, but either way, I like this. I think it's interesting, and it does take away some of the issues I have with Hope. Because like I said, I think his voice actor is the primary reason that I find him annoying. It's not because of anything about his character. I think he presents a very needed viewpoint on how this, you know, he's very defeatist, and granted, maybe that's not what we're looking for in our fiction. We're, you know, we watch and read and play fiction to get away from realistic interpretations of things. And there are too many people that whine about their circumstances anyway, so why would we want a game where someone, all they do is just whine and cry about their circumstances and everything? And so that's something that I've thought about. It's something that I kind of agree with, and it is something I've thought from time to time. But I think that, be that as it may, there is a certain level of necessity for that kind of viewpoint. Because the fantasy is kind of broken if nobody acts realistically. Okay? It's hard to suspend disbelief if nobody acts the way a normal quote-unquote person would. And I submit that Hope is acting like any normal, sheltered kid would in this kind of circumstance. And with the rest of the cast being so different, a lot of them are adults. Vanille, who seems to be closest to Hope's age range, at least in terms of maturity, she's still acting very different. Not typical at all. In fact, one, she's remarkably well informed and very well adjusted, all things considered. You know, everybody so far that we've seen in the game has gone through some pretty heavy stuff. Deaths and war and discrimination and all these sorts of things. She's handling things really, really well, though. Wait a second. I thought so. There's a treasure over there. I will fight soldiers for them. Let's go! These guys are pretty easy. So yeah, I think, Vanille presents a unique, more fictionalized, maybe even, I hesitate to say, that she's idealized. I don't think she is. But for the most part, she doesn't act like a normal person would in this circumstance. So I think that's what Hope presents. What Hope allows us to see how we would typically expect someone to act. Okay, it's only been about 6 minutes, so obviously we're not going to stop here. Wouldn't be a very commemorative episode if I just stopped 6 minutes in and called it a day, now would it? Here's the question that I have. Looking at this... One, I mean, obviously this place is beautiful, but how many people died when this lake turned to crystal? Oh, hey. How'd Sarah get here? Huh. Sepia tones. Uh-oh. Huh. Huh. Oh, good. Having this nice emotional moment, and the army screws it up. Alrighty, looks like it's boss time. A couple of things I noticed in that exchange. One, Japanese lightning is a lot more emotive, generally speaking, than English lightning. And two, Snow is, well, there's a little something about his character that we kind of learned there, and that is, yeah, I got this, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, okay, so, oh, okay, this is showing the usefulness of certain paradigms based on the situation. So what we learned there is he calls lightning Nesan in this voice track, and that just it translates very simply to big sister. So he's basically already part of the family, even though technically he and Sarah are still fiancés at this point. And that's a little different from what we got in the English track, where he called her that once. He called her sis at one point, and Lightning snapped at him. Now, this doesn't necessarily tell us anything we didn't know about Snow's and Lightning's relationship, because it's kind of obvious that he wants to be part of the family and she doesn't want him, which kind of, it's just kind of the same thing. But, at the same time, it's much more formal, the way he calls her in this track than sis. It's more formal than that. It's Nesan is a very, like, how do I want to phrase this? From what I understand, it's a very perfunctory, very neutral sort of thing. It's not overly familiar, it's not overly formal, but it's definitely a lot more formal than sis. Okay, fine. Chain gauge fully depleted. Okay, so we got to do the process over again. So we staggered it once, we did as much damage as we could, now we got to start over. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. What the hell is that thing? Is that the same kind of snakish thing that we fought in the first cutscene? Or not the first cutscene, obviously, but the first little section? Looks kind of familiar, I don't know why. It might be. I don't remember seeing that thing, though. Wait. Okay. Not good. There we go. So my apologies if this voice track makes it a little harder to play along. Crap. There it is. Okay, we're gonna have to start over. I have an idea on something I want to change up, and then we'll try that again. Again, sorry if it makes it a little harder to follow along with this voice track, because obviously in order to catch what the story's saying, what they're all talking about, you have to read. And for all I know, not everybody's as quick at reading subtitles as I am, probably. So, not to say that I'm like this savant when it comes to reading subtitles, but I do have some experience in it. So it's second nature to me. So unfortunately, I don't really know if it's difficult or not for anybody to follow along. But like I said, this isn't going to be like a from now on sort of thing. I'm not switching voice tracks indefinitely. I figured it would just be interesting to do every so often, just to spice things up a little bit and see if we've noticed anything interesting in the performances that's different. So like I said, Snow using a relatively formal term of endearment as opposed to sis or light or whatever else he might use in English, definitely adds a little thing. It adds a certain thing to it, I think. It's kind of the stuff that I like about the Japanese language in general. There's a lot of subtlety to it that you don't get in American English. So I've always found it fascinating. Yes, that means I'm a cliche. I'm an anime nerd and I like games and all that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, I'll be buying body pillows with characters on them. And no, I won't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going that far, folks. I'm not that far gone. In any case, I think this will work out a little better if instead of relying purely on Vanille's healing, we also use some potions just in case. Because this guy's got some pretty strong, like, full party attacks that we have to deal with every so often. So, I think we're okay, though. This is definitely going a little better, I think. I should have seen if I could get some more levels with the points that I have so far, but I didn't think about it. We've gone through the entire game so far without leveling. I forgot that we could. Okay. No, we're okay. We're still okay. Alrighty. Round 2. You gotta wonder if the army is watching this. Like, is this a full-on, like, automaton, like, robot thing? Or is it being piloted by somebody? Because it's clearly not organic. Like, this is definitely a machine. But is AI in this world so advanced that this is a purely autonomous kind of construct? In which case, maybe there isn't anybody watching. Although I would assume there'd be some sort of camera monitoring system, right? You gotta wonder what they make of these, these folks just, like, murdering everything. Like, they thought that fal'cie were a threat before, now look at us. But, threat is quelled, we can move on.
待ってくれ。気持ちはわかるがよ。この調子じゃ何時間かかっても掘り出せねえぞ。軍隊も来るだろうし、今は逃げてようや。
Now, we wouldn't want to try and just grab Sarah. We might break off a limb.
使命はどうした？俺たちは世界を守るルシだから使命を果たす。自分で言って忘れたのか？もう投げ出してここで死ぬのか？
Uh-oh.
お前は口先だけなんだ。
So should be noticed there, Lightning did not use Snow's name. She said you.
俺は
And he didn't say her name right there
絶
either.
対に諦めない。
Huh. Like I said, I think the subtitles are all the same. This is the English voice track. The subtitles are going by the English script.
約束する。
But it matches up decently well, I think. Oh, holy shit. There's a burn and a half there. Go Lightning. Not to say that was particularly nice, but
生き延びてくれ。
it's a pretty good,
お前もな。
it's a pretty good burn there. Yeah, see, he actually didn't say anything there. There's some interesting, shifts. But for the most part, I like this. I think it's an interesting, interesting perspective.
あんたか。話があるなら今度聞くよ。置いてかれるぞ。行けよ、オーブ。姉さんが守ってくれる。また会おうぜ。
See right there? It said light.
はい。
Light will take care of you.
必ず。
But Snow actually said in this track, Nesan. Which is also just a general term that you use for a woman you don't know. Like a young woman that you don't know personally, you might call her that. Which is an interesting bit of, maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but it's interesting that that's also...
助けるからな。
you could say both are true in Snow's case. Yes, Lightning is his sister, based on that he's going to marry Sarah, but also he doesn't really know her. They don't seem to get along very well, so chances are they don't know each other that well. Again, maybe this is my, anime nerd, like finding subtleties and symbolism where there isn't any, but I don't know. Let's see about leveling instead of harping on about this. What can we do? I want her to be able to use magic, so let's do that. Oh, water. Okay. Well, trying to remember how does this... Okay, come on. Work with me here. There it is. Yay! We got water. Okay, so then what can Vanille do? What do I want Vanille to be? Let's go medic still. I like to have a healer. Magic. And, okay. That's as far as we can go. What about Mr. Catroy? Obviously, this is not Mr. Catroy. Sorry, got my folks mixed up. Hope is a synergist. That basically means he uses buffing spells like Protect and Haste and all that. There we go. Now this is Mr. Catroy. Sazh will be our mage, basically. Flame Strike. Okay. There we go. Now, let's optimize him for offense. Okay. Optimize. Okay. And you will be fine the way you are. I like having the Doctor's Code for Lightning. Since we're in direct control of her, we're in charge of the potions. It'll be nice to be able to make sure they are more efficient or more useful than normal. So I don't think AI companions will use items. Although I'm not entirely sure if that's true. I don't think they do. Whoops. I want to do... There it is. We're going to add a few options to this. So, let's go Ravager. There we go. Try Disaster. Always useful. And then... What else do I want? That's fine. I think there's one other one that I want to grab. I'm trying to remember which one it is that could prove useful. Oh well, we'll try out what we got. We'll see how it goes. So what we have, what is called the paradigm, the deck. And those are our options based on our current party setup. So whatever classes your characters have unlocked, you can make up your deck based on that. So right now we have a handful of options. So we can make up a deck, and we can also pick which one we start each battle with. For now, Relentless Assault, where Lightning's the commando, and we've got 2 Ravagers. That's what we've got. The commando is useful because it keeps the stagger gauge up. It basically keeps it going. If we were all Ravagers, it would go down a lot faster. So now, almost done. There we go. Works out pretty well. It is definitely nice to have at least one commando in the party. But I want to be able to heal while doing damage. That thaumaturgy, I know that word. Nice. Okay, let's see. What do we want to start with? We'll start with diversity. Yeah, so that way we always have a medic at the beginning of a fight. Just in case. Having a dedicated healer is pretty much always a good thing. Sometimes it's not really necessary, but most times there will be enemies that do just enough damage that you'll... Basically that it'll be a good thing to have someone who can mitigate it right from the get-go. Alright. Here we go. For the most part, switching paradigms is a lot of the strategy in the combat system. Having the right ones in your deck and switching them in the right moment, that's kind of a big part of the strategy element. And this isn't to say that I'm particularly good at it, but I do remember a few things from when I first played the game a couple years ago, so... Like a very cinematic camera angle there. Again, I'm drawn back to how many people lost their lives and their homes and everything else when this lake just decided to up and freeze. It's easy for us to forget that that probably happened, considering that there's nobody else here aside from the army and these monster things. But, like, seriously, with this kind of widespread damage, we saw a bunch of explosions, and a bunch of buildings collapsed, and then this whole thing happened? Like, there was a freaking tidal wave. We saw just how much damage this, like, this eruption, or whatever it is when Anima decided to snuff it. Like, how bad was this for the people that lived in this area? Like, holy crap. We see no bodies, it's easy to forget. But I'm guessing plenty of folks died. Thank you, Sazh. Alright, so there's a treasure. I will take it. Damn it. I was hoping we'd get preemptive. Oh well. This'll work. Blitz it up. 1 down. 2 down. 3 down. Oh, and 4 down. Alright. Good work, AI. Very cool. I wonder if the star system, like, influences either, like, how many points you get for leveling, or, like, your chances of getting items. I know there's got to be something, right? Like, there's got to be a reason that you're ranked on your battles. I just wish I knew what it was. Any case, looks like we're heading to... Yep. You called it, Lightning. See right there, Vanille just called Lightning One-san, which she probably picked up from Snow, but it could have been just a general thing, because like I said, that's something you call a young woman that you don't know. So, since Vanille doesn't know Lightning very well, that's what she went with. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so even though the map is telling us we still need to go this way, we need to do something else. It's almost like a puzzle. Crap, I'm bad at puzzles. This is not good. How did all this happen from one fal'cie dying? Like, where did all this crystal come from? Clearly it's not just the lake. Excuse me, because I mean, look at around here. All these, like, freaking pillars and shit. Probably we can use this. Not what I was expecting, but I suppose it works. More guys. I think I have a plan. Of course, we can't just shoot them. That would make too much sense. So instead, I think, use Decepticol so they won't notice us coming, and use that to give ourselves a preemptive strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Just a few. And not as good a first round as I had hoped for. But I think we're okay. Go. Yeah, only a handful left now. We should be fine. That's what I mean about having a medic first off, because I'm pretty sure if we had started off like with this one, it would have been rather dangerous. Because look at that, Lightning's already in the yellow. Imagine if there when all 10 were around, just how much havoc they could wreak. There we go. There we go. Just another couple of attacks. That one's down. We've got 2 more. And the fight is over. Oh wow, I'm surprised. That took longer than I thought. We still got 5 stars. Very cool. Alright, bridge is cleared, and our way forward is going up here. So, I'm going to find a save point up here, and that's where we'll end the video. Like I said, Japanese voice track, there's one. That's what I thought. Is not going to be a regular thing now. It's just going to be every so often, probably every 10 episodes or so. I'm going to switch the voice track just to spice things up a little. So, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.